Hi folks, welcome to episode 8 of Vinyl Reveals. Thank you for joining me again. Episode 8, here we go, somebody's named it, and I'm delighted to say that Stephanie Coates wants this episode to be called Groove is in the Heart. So, got my crap little pun there. You're well aware all about that. Got a bit artistic there as well, Steph. So there you go, and Steph knows her stuff down there in Brighton. She's at Stephanie Coat 7. If you want to follow Stephanie, be my guest, episode 8. So thanks for joining me again. Today's vinyl reveal was a record I brought from Clampdown Records up in Manchester. First time I've ever been in the shop. To be honest, didn't know it even existed. Just got the train into Piccadilly train station in Manchester. Walked down the road, and I think it's about fourth right. The road. I remember the name of the road now. I'll write it down what the name of the road was. Patton Street. So Clampdown Records are on Patton Street. They're on Twitter. I'll post that up later. And there's the bag. See-through bag. It's quite nice. Don't mind that. So I went in there, had this record on my mind, and it was there as I flicked through the racks. So I shall reveal it now. Here we go. Today's episode 8 vinyl reveal is the album. I've had to write this down. Amanita Pantherina by the band Cabbage. These guys are a Manchester band. This is their third studio album. They've had a couple more, one in 2017, one in 2018, but we'll talk about that a bit later. So here we go. We've got there's a cover. It's a bit of a kind of, this cost me £22.99, which I don't mind. I think of places like it's around about £20, but I don't mind paying a bit more to support a local record shop, an independent, smaller retailer, shall we say. More than happy to do that from Clampdown. Got another record from there as well, 7-inch, so it was all cool, all good stuff. Nice to be in a shop I hadn't been in before. But this cover, I'm going to go for, like, if Salvador Dali did pop art, I suppose that might be. I might concede that style. And the album name itself, Amanita Pantherina, that is a mushroom. I'm going to try and quickly show you the mushroom. No expense spared, no leaf unturned here. There, I don't know if you can see that very well, but that's the, it's called like the grey cap, or something cap, more regularly known as. And that is nice to look at, but poisonous. So I think that's, maybe there's something there in that album title the guys want to get across. Not quite as it seems. Something not quite as it seems, maybe. Which is cool. Interesting title. Maybe go and want to Google it and see what the hell it was. Well, there we go. There's a little label up there. Cabbage, the new album, featuring the single You've Made an Art Form from, open brackets, From Falling to Pieces. So a little label up there. Little sticker. So we'll get into it and then I'll go on to the back and see what we've got. There's the entrances there. As I say, they've had this is their third album. First album was entitled Young, careful if there's any kids watching, Young, Dumb and Full of Cum, which I seem to recall was a phrase that, I'm not sure if he came up with it or not, but originally, I always reminds me of Vanilla Ice, sure he said that in an interview or something. Sorry. Vanilla ice. Sure he said that. So anyway, that's by the by. So yeah, that was their first time. I've had a little listen to that. Yeah, go into that a little later on. Anyway, I'm in. Stop gabbing, get into the damn record. So I've had this couple of weeks now nearly, so I'm quite excited to get into it. So here we go. We'll have a look at the back first as well while we're at it. And there's the back. So similar style of art, let's call that, from what's on the front. And on the front appears to be some kind of screaming face. I don't really make much else out of that. Abstract, like it. On the back, it's like a repetition of the mouths that are on the front. So that's all cool. Okay, and then we've got a track listing on the back right at the bottom. Fairly nice and legible, no messing about. In a serif font. Leon the Pig Farmer, track 1. Track 2, You've Made an Art Form, open brackets, From Falling to Pieces, close brackets. Get Out of My Brain, track 3. Track 4, Rouse, exclamation mark. Track 5, sorry, Once Upon a Time in the North. Track 6, Hatred. Track 7, Medicine. Track 8, I Was a Teenage Insect. Track 9, Direct / Dictate. Track, where are we, 10, Piles of Smiles. And track 11, Terminates Here. Then we've got 2020 Brassica Records Limited, all rights reserved. A little barcode at the bottom. And then little Brassica Records logo there, bottom right. It's a hand holding a, kind of looks like a, let me put my glasses on, might help. Oh, it's a fork. You can see what it is though. Without my glasses, it looks like some guy holding a flower, but it's actually a guy holding a fork, and the fork is in a cabbage. So there you go. So whether or not Brassica Records is Cabbage's own record label, I'm not sure. Could be, possibly. That would hint to that, of course. So there we go. Nice cover. I quite like that. Arty. I'm not art type of guy myself. I love a bit of art, a bit of abstract stuff, modern art. Like it. As I say, Salvador Dali, a bit pop arty almost. So yeah, that's that. Nothing else inside there. Okay, get onto the inside. Ooh, should be equally exciting. Okay, so on the front there we've got some more graphics that allude to what is on the front, same kind of style. And there we have the mushroom, so it's all falling into place now. There's your whatever it's called, Amanita Pantherina mushroom. And there's a guy, oh my god, that big horrible mushroom's coming to get me. Looks great, but underneath, deadly, gonna kill you. It says it's poisonous, it doesn't say it's gonna kill you, from what I've read. There you go. Just be careful out there. It looks like it looks like another mushroom, apparently. Well, this isn't like mushroom reveals. This is the final reveals. Let's get back onto the songs. All songs by Cabbage, recorded at Brassica HQ, Mossley. Mossley is in Greater Manchester, heading towards the Pennines. That's where the guys are from. So I assume we're looking maybe, that this is their own record label, possibly. Except the drums, which were done at 6DB Studios in Salford, Manchester. It's produced by Christopher Stockton and Cabbage, except track 2, produced by James Skelly, been mastered by Robin Schmidt. The artwork here, which is a great bit of artwork, I like this stuff, is by Thomas Walmsley. The management is SJM Management, Brassica Records 2020. The guys in the band, we've got Lee Broadbent and Joe Martin, both on vocals. Joe also plays guitar, which is quite interesting in this band. They've got two vocalists, which kind of plays out well. It's a little bit different. Gives the songs a bit more depth, and you've got a bit more variety there available to them, shall we say, in the songs they get out, and really cool. So where was I? Yeah, Eogan is how you pronounce that. Clifford, guitars, keys, percussion, and vocals. Patrick Neville on bass, guitars, vocals, and Asa Morley on drums. There's some Lizzie Rigby has provided vocals on 6 and 11. Particularly remember that jumping out at me. It was a female singer, but possibly was. There's a lot going on this album and these songs, and a lot to take in, and it's good stuff. And then on the rear of that, we've got the lyrics, which is really cool. I was hoping they were there. Kind of laid out over the mushroom again, and that guy. It's kind of all laid out a bit kind of, I mean, it's there, it's all centered, but it's kind of all a bit higgledy-piggledy. I like that in a better, slightly more regimented format, but you might to argue they're there. They're in red and black, so some of those jump out more than others, but yeah, they're there, easy enough to read, big enough. They're not on some crazy background, it's a light background, so I can read the lyrics. So I shall take small mercy in that. We're there. So that's pretty cool. I like the artwork. Good stuff. Okay, now let's get. I haven't seen this vinyl. No idea what the vinyl's like. We're in for a bit of a shock. Nice bit of uncoated kind of stock as well, and thick as well, which is nice. I like that. Okay, so here we go. We're into it. And we've got side A. We've got got a side A, and this is a splatter vinyl, obviously, in keeping with the colours used on the cover itself, on the sleeve, which is great. I really like that. Very interesting, very out there. I think that's probably my craziest bit of vinyl I've got so far. I'm quite sure I've got a few similar, but I think that's kind of out there. So I like that. If it plays okay, I'm sure it will. And then we've got side A with the, I have to keep looking, Amanita Pantherina on there. And side B, we've got the guy in the flash, the horrified guy about to be devoured by this giant mushroom, which is cool. I don't quite match it. That's slightly annoying. And that'd be more level, but that's okay. I'm not going to split hairs on that. Anything on the runoff? Just probably like the catalogue number on that side. Yeah, DC, or was it DG01612, I think. Okay, so that looks really nice actually. It's like shining nicely in the light. Really like that. Pretty cool. Nice and simple graphically as well. Overboard. Good style. Good job. Okay, so I'll just pop that on there. I've got my scales here. The scales to weigh this. So I'll just give it a quick weigh. And it's coming in at 177 grams, so it could be about 180. Right, 178. So let's go for its 180 grams, which is cool. Nice bit of heavyweight vinyl. There you go. Buy this record. That's what you're getting inside, and the music's good too. I can assure you. So let's pop that back in there. Safe keeping. Not always the simplest thing putting records back into inner sleeves, particularly, especially the thinner the inner sleeve is, and they've got that where it's joined, and you can't get the blue. I mean, the times I've sworn at records, you wouldn't believe. I shall actually just pop it on the turntable, just for the time being. We'll come back to that later. Okay, so we're in. Great art. Yeah, happy with that. Exciting stuff. Looks good, and as I say, it sounds good too. These, just out of interest, these guys are on tour in May. I think they're playing Gorilla in Manchester in May. Hopefully we'll be out of this lockdown and people will be able to go back to gigs normally by that time. So if you're interested in going to see them, May's as good a time as any. And this album came out on the 25th of September. We've been through the band members, so it was their third album. Their second album was Nihilistic Glamour Shots. Second album, 2018. Again, that was their first album was quite, quite raw again. Your typical first album, quite heavy. It's kind of punk, like new punk, I'd call this. A bit similar to the Blinders, maybe. The first song's quite similar to the Blinders. Viagra Boys, a Swedish band, and there's a lot of these kind of bands taking on this new punk feel, this running with punk again, and it's good. They've got some good stuff coming out, some interesting stuff that's not punk per se. It's just they've took their influences there. Anyway, a bit like the Clash, I thought, in a way, the way the songs are structured, and there's a lot of difference between the songs. It's all good. It's very quite political as well, which is good for the times, and I really like that. I thought through it as well, some of these songs could have been like in movies, like if Quentin Tarantino liked a band, you thought this might be the band he kind of likes. It's got that kind of a feel to it, edgy, raw, a bit ballsy, got some swagger and confidence to it, which I really like. So now let me just have a sip of tea. Got some tea in me tonight. A lot of talking. The first track, very high on the angriometer, I've called it. Johnny Rotten sounds a little bit like the Blinders. It reminded me of the Blinders. Blinders got an album about 2 years ago now called Columbia. Reminded me of that a little bit. This track, an angry slice of new punk. I thought it's very, very fast and it's in there. But angriometer is 9. It's a 9 on the angriometer stakes. So it's a good start. Sets you up for what you're gonna get. And then number 2, this is one of their top tracks. One of their singles. You've Made an Art Form. Open brackets from Falling to Pieces. And it says in there, it says, you made an art form from falling to pieces, you can't iron those creases, which I really like that. I thought that was there's some grating sonic guitar in there. It's got a bit of a sing-along feel to it. It's catchy, it's cleverly structured. There's a squealing high-pitched guitar in there. It's like the whole, bit of like, not the kitchen sinks thrown in it, but it's very interesting. It's very interesting sound. Melody, there's melody there, there's punk there. Yeah, listen to it, it's good. So that's one of the top tracks on this album, I would say. And they've got it's got like a wholesome sound as well. Interesting use of the guitar, the pedals, the sounds. They've really gone for it. There's 5 of the guys, so there's a lot of noise, a lot of vigor, a lot of ideas, and it comes to fruition on this album. I think the second album is a little bit darker, and I haven't listened to all of it yet. That's where I think Sharon first told me about this band, and then I sort of started listening to them a little bit randomly, and I've retweeted a couple of the songs off the second album, possibly the first album too, which I liked. It just caught me. There's something about them that I liked. The 4th song, Raus, which I think is out, German. Raus is German for out. Probably a bit like the hypocrisy of war-torn governments and this kind of thing, the lyrics. And there's a really cool lyric in there. As fortune ever grates that foreign soil, those dark alleys and the airstrike holes, the places so just that they come to represent hell. So some quite heavy, meaningful stuff, and it's very strong. It's getting this message across, Rouse, and it's in your face. This album, in places. So number 6 is a track called Hatred. I thought that was one of their top songs on this album. It's got the slide guitar in there. This one's acoustic based, a bit nicely melodic, beautifully structured. I thought this. There's a line there, hopeless over hatred. This kind of gets repeated. The wisdom to know the difference, serenity to choose. That's another line that's in there. Really like that. The wisdom to know the difference, serenity to choose. Really like that lyric. Some good, really good stuff going on. Track 7 and 8 and 9. All through this is yeah. There's not really, I would say, a weak song really. There's maybe one or two where you don't really, not really that too fussed. But yeah, we got track 7 Medicine, another good song. Singing interplay between the singing styles as well. The two guys singing, and they sing Full of Vitriol, foot tapping, chuntering guitar. I think this one's possibly about political spin doctors. Maybe that's kind of the thing I'm getting. Need to have a look at the lyrics properly. Number 8, I was a teenage insect. This is quite quirky. I thought at the start it sounds like the Clangers, on the moon, the old TV show, and then there's a bit in it that sounds like the Flashing Blade, the late 70s foreign TV show. That sort of very cinematic feeling to it. There's some rolling drums in there, very interesting, different things going on. They've kind of worked wonders there with some of these songs, really good. Number 9, again, a direct dictate of a decent song. It's like a high octane kazoo in there. You got so much going on, but it's all very structured, and it works, believe me. There's Piles of Smiles, track 10. Grimy, like the singing's like had some playing around with it. It almost reminded me of Henry Rollins, his version of Night Before Christmas, if you ever heard that. Sort of grating voice. Some of it sounds like it's sampled a load of 80s kids TV tunes again. It was all underlaid by this punk ethic. And number 11, Terminates Here, which is another great song to finish on. It's like a bit of a chilled ode. And there's a line in there: if you see that poison buddy of yours flying past on a broomstick, I'd like a word. I was born with a brass neck, pot kettle black, stoned and stewed and stirred. I thought that was a really great lyric. Some great lyrics, some great musicianship. So it's got swooning, swirling. It's like a dreamlike wave at the end, and I thought it's like really good. Some really solid musicianship, some great lyrics, an interesting way of laying down the songs, and really happy again. Thank God. I'm sure I could be unhappy about one of these reveals sooner or later, but doing okay so far. So yeah, highly recommend this album. Cabbage, the band Cabbage, with their album Amanita Pantherina. Check it out. Before I kind of sign off and put the record on for a little bit at the end, my next episode 9, I ordered the same album twice. So when it came, I got a bit confused. I opened them both up. So I've kind of it won't be a blind reveal per se. So I've got a spare album by mistake. So I'm going to give it away. Possibly at the end or just after the end of mine, I'll do like a live thing possibly, or just do it on episode 9. I haven't decided yet. But anyway, the album, should you be interested, is which I haven't really opened up yet at all anyway, is the Working Men's Club album, first album. So that's the album I'm going to review in episode 9, and I'll be giving one away. So please retweet. You see this on Twitter. Any retweets between now, if you retweet between now, any of my stuff, you're going to the hat. You retweet 5 times, you're only going in once. It's like one of those. So please retweet, get my stuff out there, retweet this episode. If you retweet episode 9, you'll still be in the draw, and then I'll do probably, be in episode 10 probably when I do a bit of a live draw or something, and draw somebody out of the hat, and they'll get this Working Men's Club album. So look forward to doing that. It's been great joining you again and revealing a new album by a great band. Young band from Manchester, producing some really good stuff, some interesting tunes here. Really good album. So I'll look forward to playing it. I'll just pop it on for a second, and I'll see you again soon for episode 9. Take care.